Hi everyone, I have some practice problems as you go to work on 11.8 area of combined rectangles. Now for this lesson you will need to think back to the distributive property which we talked about earlier this school year. The distributive property is basically dividing something or breaking something apart. So the directions for these problems are use the distributive property to find the area. So we have our figure here for number 1. So you are going to break that apart into 2 rectangles. So there are a lot of options. You could draw a line here to make 2 rectangles. You could draw a line through the middle to make 2 rectangles. There's a lot of options. I am going to draw a line right here to make my 2 rectangles. 1, 2. I have 2 rectangles. So let's work with rectangle number 1 here. Now think back to when we talked about arrays earlier this school year. We did that with multiplication. Let's count how many squares we have going down and then how many going across. So down we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So rectangle number 1 is 4 times how many going across? 1, 2. 4 times 2, that equals 8. Now let's look at rectangle number 2. How many squares going down? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many squares going across? 1, 2, 3. 4 times 3 equals 12. So now let's add up both of our answers and that will give us our area. 8 plus 12. That equals 20. So 20 will be our area, 20 square units. Let's move on to number 2. Now this one's a little bit trickier because it's in a regular shape. You need to break this apart into 2 rectangles. So make sure you have 2 rectangles because if you drew a line here, that would not be a rectangle. You have to either draw a line this way or this way to make 2 rectangles. I'm going to draw a line here. So here's my first rectangle, here's my second rectangle. All right, looking at the first one, how many squares do we have going down? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many squares going across? 1, 2, 3. 4 times 3 equals 12. So the area of our first rectangle is 12. Let's do rectangle number 2. How many squares going down? 1, 2. So 2 times how many going across? 1, 2, 3. 2 times 3 equals 6. So the area of our second rectangle is 6. So now let's add those together. 12 plus 6. That equals 18. So our area is 18 square units. All right, get started on 11.8.